how did I go from the venture capital industry to the world of education? Well, what I actually did was I'm on the board of this amazing charity. I love it. It's called the LEMO Foundation. And in East Palo Alto, here in the Bay Area, in East Palo Alto, the high school graduation rate is actually only 40%. It's tragic. And so I teach underprivileged children that have deadbeat fathers and whose family might be in jail business skills. And what I did was I started teaching these students for free, of course, on the weekends. And the motto of the LEMO Foundation I love. It's this: don't expect to accomplish your dreams in life unless you help others accomplish theirs first. I love that. And so I was teaching these kids here that range from 9 years old to 17. We give them full scholarships to the best schools. I was teaching them on a Saturday back in January of 2016, 5 years ago. I was teaching them, and I called that day-long session of 12 hours an entire MBA in one day. And I created these little degrees for them as well, and they were so happy. There was tears from me as well. It was an amazing experience. And so what I did the next day was I actually put a camera up at home in my bedroom, and I wanted to share with the world what I taught them. And so I put the camera up in my bedroom, and my wife said, "Honey, this is not happening." And I said, no, it won't be here for that long. Yeah. And so I filmed in 8 hours or so a course I called an entire MBA in one course. And I put it online. And I never meant to make money from it. But it took off. It took off. And I'm humbled to say that course alone has made millions. And it's my 6th best-selling course now. And so I thought to myself, why can't I create a degree program for my students as well? And that's what I'm doing. So I realized that you can't reinvent yourself or make a dent in the universe, as Steve Jobs would say, God bless him, unless you follow your heart and chase your passion. And that's what I did. And that's what I teach my students to do as well, because I think if you just chase money, you lose your money and your dreams. But if you chase your dreams and you fail a bunch of times and you don't give a damn what anybody thinks of your failures, you keep trying, something amazing happens. Your dreams come true, and the money follows accidentally. It always does, no matter what anybody tells you. So let's talk about some passionate entrepreneurs. And I created this slide using 3D animation software, which I teach all my students in my MBA program as part of an elective. Okay, so I want to talk about accreditation and why I think that accredited programs are awful compared to online MBA programs like mine. So accredited traditional MBA programs don't help you achieve your full potential. And so here's a great quote from Elon Musk. I love this picture. It's so dope. He said this. He said, as much as possible, avoid hiring MBAs. MBA programs don't teach you how to create companies. Our position is that we hire someone in spite of an MBA, not because of one. And of course, we're talking about traditional MBAs here. One data point doesn't make a trend, so here's a couple more. The COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, she said, while I got great value from my experience, MBAs are not necessary at Facebook, and I don't believe they're important for working in the tech industry. And of course, she's talking about traditional MBAs. Guy Kawasaki, who's one of the early employees at Apple, he said this: for every full-time engineer, add $500,000 in company value. But for every full-time MBA, subtract $250,000. Traditional accredited MBA schools are in secular decline. Peter Thiel, who is the co-founder of PayPal and the first investor in Facebook and the first investor in Palantir, and I partnered with his firm when I worked in venture capital. I invested in Palantir. I sold it. I'm no longer in the position. I sold it when it was private. Peter Thiel said, never hire an MBA. They will ruin your company. And of course, he's referring to traditional accredited MBAs. A couple more quick examples here. Mark Andreessen, who's also another top venture capitalist, he created a company called Netscape, which was kind of the first IPO that mattered in the internet space. So he's a partner at Andreessen Horowitz. I've partnered with him before on deals. I've been on the same board of a company he was on before as well. Smart guy. He said this: MBA graduating classes are actually a reliable indicator. If they all want to go into investment banking, there's going to be a financial crisis. Okay, and that's what happened in '08, of course. If they want to go into tech, that means a bubble is forming, which is what happened in 1999. Seth Godin, probably the number one marketing guru on the planet, he said, an MBA has become a two-part machine. First, the students are taught everything they need to know to manage a company from 1990, old school. Second, they are taken out of the real world. So what are character traits of great managers and the people we just talked about in those previous slides? Well, they all have a positive attitude. I've never met an entrepreneur that's very successful with a negative attitude. They're very persistent, like a pit bull on a pork chop. They never give up, and they're cool with failure. They embrace it because every time they fail, they know they're getting that much closer to success. They're very innovative. They take risks, not crazy risks like burning fake money, but they take calculated risks. They're confident. They can sell, of course. And they have great communication skills as well. And all of these things I will teach you in the MBA degree program. I'll arm you with many frameworks so you can take your game to the next level, so to speak.